Hey there, coin enthusiasts and accidental treasure hunters. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change that's worth, wait for it, a whopping $1 million. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, buckle up because today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1980 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could make you rich enough to finally buy all the snacks you want at the movies without hesitation. Spoiler alert, it's all about knowing what to look for. So, what's the deal with this magical penny? Let's break it down. First, a little coin history for you. Most US pennies have a mint mark, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco, to show where they were made. But if you've got a 1980 penny without a mint mark, that means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Normally, these aren't rare, but there's a twist. Some of these 1980 no-mint mark pennies were struck with errors or unique characteristics, and collectors are going wild for them. It's like Pokemon cards but for grown-ups with a love for copper and zinc. Now, before you rush to the couch cushions or start raiding your grandpa's coin jar, let's get specific. The 1980 no-mint mark penny in question needs to be in pristine condition, like shiny, untouched, straight from the mint condition. These high-grade coins are graded by experts and are known as MS68 or higher on the Sheldon scale. Think of it as the coin equivalent of a model walking the red carpet at the Oscars. Let me tell you about the time I almost thought I struck it rich. Picture this: I was cleaning out an old shoebox from my childhood. Why did I keep so many random rocks? And I found a penny from 1980. My heart skipped a beat. No mint mark? Check. I googled it and was halfway to imagining myself on a beach sipping fancy coconut drinks, but then I realized my penny had been through some tough times. It was scratched, dull, and had probably spent a few years in the bottom of a gas station parking lot. So close, yet so far. Moral of the story? Condition matters. My dreams of instant riches vanished, but hey, at least I didn't end up on one of those reality shows where people try to sell junk to pawn shops. Now, let's get to the juicy part. Why is this coin worth $1 million? It all comes down to rarity and demand. The fewer coins there are in mint condition, the more collectors are willing to pay. A perfectly preserved 1980 no-mint mark penny recently sold at auction for $1 million because it was essentially flawless and a coveted piece for serious collectors. Think of it this way: collectors are like treasure hunters, and these pennies are their holy grail. It's the same reason people pay outrageous amounts for rare sneakers or vintage action figures. Everyone wants to own a piece of history, especially if it shines like new. Here's a fun fact for you: a penny isn't even made entirely of copper anymore. Since 1982, pennies have been mostly zinc with just a thin layer of copper. So technically, that shiny 1980 penny you're hunting is a real classic, like the original Star Wars trilogy, but in coin form. And hey, if you find one, think of all the things you could do with $1 million. Buy a mansion? Sure. Pay off student loans? Definitely. Or, my personal favorite, finally replace that one pair of socks that mysteriously keeps disappearing in the laundry. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a tiny treasure with $1 million punch. Remember, the key is condition, rarity, and a little bit of luck. So next time you're sifting through your change, take a closer look. Who knows? You might just find your golden, copper ticket. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be sharing more secrets, stories, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into serious cash. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or just want to share your own penny story. Hey there, coin lovers! Do you have a 1975 Lincoln penny sitting in your jar of change? Well, what if I told you that little copper coin could be worth a whopping $1 million? Yep, you heard me right, $1 million. Before you run off to dig through your drawers, let's talk about why this penny could be more valuable than your old Nintendo games or that 90s Beanie Baby collection. Stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why you should be giving that penny a second look. Ready? Let's jump in. So, you're probably asking, what makes a 1975 penny so special? Well, the answer is in the details. When most people think of valuable coins, they think of rare dates, mint marks, and sometimes even the famous error coins, and the 1975 Lincoln penny definitely falls into that category. But before we get all deep into the world of rare coins, Let's take a minute to appreciate the good old Lincoln penny. For context, the Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909, and over the years, it's gone through some pretty cool changes. You know, like how Lincoln got that shiny beard, and the design's been updated to honor his legacy. But the 1975 penny, in particular, is where things get interesting now. You're probably familiar with the fact that US coins come with mint marks, right? Those little letters that tell you where the coin was produced? You know, like D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia. Well, here's where it gets fun. In 1975, there was a specific batch of pennies that were struck without any mint mark, meaning they came from the Philadelphia Mint. But here's the catch: these particular pennies were super rare, making them special in the world of coin collectors. So rare, in fact, that a mint condition 1975 no mint mark penny could fetch you around $1 million. Great question. It's all about rarity, demand, and condition. You see, during the 1975 production year, the US Mint was cranking out a ton of pennies, over several billion of them. And while most of those pennies have circulated and are worth their face value, a few got struck with errors. These are the coins collectors dream about. The Mint was making a ton of changes to coin designs and production methods, and some pennies slipped through the cracks with no mint mark. But here's the kicker: not all 1975 no mint mark pennies are worth $1 million. You've gotta have a pristine example. That means minimal wear and tear, no scratches, no discoloration, no weird dents from when your dog decided to chew on your coin collection. You need a clean, sharp, well-maintained penny to really unlock that value. So, if you happen to have one of these rare pennies in perfect condition, you're looking at a hefty payday. But here's a funny thing: I actually found a 1975 penny in my spare change not too long ago. I got all excited, thinking I was about to make my fortune, but after a closer inspection, and some Googling, I realized it was just a regular OL penny. But hey, it was a good laugh, and it reminded me that even if your coin isn't worth $1 million, it's the hunt that makes this hobby so fun. Plus, there are plenty of other coins out there worth big money, and I'm here to help you spot them. Alright, you're probably wondering, how do these pennies actually end up being so valuable? Well, there are two main reasons. First, we've got the rarity factor. Remember how I mentioned billions of pennies were minted that year? But only a small fraction were without a mint mark. That makes the ones without the mint mark rare and harder to find. Then there's the collector's demand side. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for unique pieces, coins that have historical value, errors, or just an interesting backstory. When a coin like this comes up for sale, collectors flock to get their hands on it, pushing the price up. And that's how you end up with a coin that can fetch $1 million. A little fun fact for you: the highest known sale of a 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny was for $1.2 million. So, yeah, it's possible. But like I said before, not every penny from 1975 is gonna make you a millionaire, so don't get too carried away just yet. So, now you know the basics behind the 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny. If you happen to find one, it could be worth up to $1 million, but you've gotta make sure it's in top-notch condition, and that's no easy feat. So, keep your eyes peeled, check your pennies, and any change, really, and be sure to look for those mint mark errors. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a goldmine without even knowing it. Before I let you go, here's the deal: coin collecting is all about learning, staying patient, and knowing where to look. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep getting the inside scoop on valuable coins, strategies for spotting rare finds, and more tips to make sure you're not leaving money on the table, hit that subscribe button and join our coin-loving crew. You don't want to miss what I've got coming up next. Camera zooms in for emphasis, and hey, if you happen to find $1 million penny, let me know. Maybe I'll come over and celebrate with you. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep hunting, keep collecting, and who knows what treasure you'll find next. See you in the next video. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, nah, this little thing isn't worth much? Well, think again. You might be sitting on a goldmine without even knowing it. In today's video, we're diving into the world of the 1961 D mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's worth a jaw-dropping $1 million. Yep, you heard that right, $1 million. But how? Why? And most importantly, how do you find one? Trust me, after watching this, you might want to start checking your penny jar or the dusty old change drawer at the bottom of your couch. So, let's get into it. Alright, first things first, what exactly makes the 1961 D penny worth so much money? Isn't a penny just, well, a penny? Here's the thing, not all pennies are created equal. Sure, most of them are worth only 1 cent. But some? Some are rare. And the 1961 D Lincoln penny? It's one of those rare gems that has captivated collectors for decades. It's not just any regular old coin from the 60s, this penny has something special. But before we go any deeper, let me take you back to when I first heard about these $1,000,000 pennies. I was just starting to collect coins. This was back when I had a few extra dollars from my part-time job at a coffee shop. I know, fancy. I was at a coin shop, chatting with the owner, when he casually mentioned the 1961 D penny. He told me that one of these coins could be worth a fortune. I thought he was joking, but after some research, I found out he wasn't kidding. That's when I started paying attention to my pennies.so. What's the big deal with the 1961 D penny? Well, let me break it down for you. The D in the mint mark stands for Denver, where the coin was minted. In 1961, the US Mint released millions of pennies, but not all of them were made the same. Some were struck slightly off-center, and others had unusual characteristics, which made them stand out to collectors. The 1961 D penny, when in perfect condition, is a real rarity, especially if it has a specific error, like a double die or a unique strike. Here's where it gets interesting. The value of these pennies depends a lot on their condition. If you're lucky enough to have a 1961 D penny that's in mint condition, like super mint condition, then you're sitting on a serious treasure. You're talking about a coin worth upwards of $1 million at auction. That's the kind of money that could pay off your student loans, take a vacation, or better yet, buy you an entire collection of rare coins. But here's a twist, not every 1961 D penny is worth that much. The ones that fetch big money are the ones with rare characteristics or errors. A well-worn 1961 D penny is still going to be worth just 1 cent, or maybe a little more if you're lucky, but a pristine, rare one can fetch $1 million. Now, if you're thinking, I'm going to go check every single penny I've got, I don't blame you. That's what I did too. But let me save you some time. It's not just about having the coin, it's about having the right coin in the right condition. So, how do you tell if you've got one? Well, look for the following. You're looking for a coin with no scratches, no wear, and no discoloration. If you're holding it in your hand and you can still read the year and see the details clearly, that's a good sign. Look for double dies, where the design is stamped multiple times, or other unusual characteristics. These are the ones that make a coin super rare and, therefore, valuable. Make sure it's a real 1961 D penny. You'd be surprised how many people try to trick buyers with fake coins, so always get it appraised by a professional if you think you've got something valuable. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, how do I get my hands on one of these rare 1961 D pennies? Well, they're out there, but you have to be diligent. Start by checking change in your pockets, your old coin jars, or even estate sales and auctions. And, of course, keep an eye out online. Sometimes you can snag one at a good price before other collectors catch on. Just don't go blowing your entire budget on a penny unless you're really sure it's the real deal.so. Let me wrap this up by saying, the 1961 D Lincoln penny is proof that the right coin can make you a millionaire, even if it's just a tiny little penny. It's all about knowing what to look for, understanding the rare characteristics that make it valuable, and keeping your eyes peeled for those once-in-a-lifetime finds. And, hey, if you're still unsure about whether you have one of these $1 million coins lying around, why not check? Trust me, if you happen to stumble upon one, you'll be the one laughing all the way to the bank. But remember, don't let the thrill of finding a rare penny overshadow the fun of the journey. Collecting coins is all about learning, exploring, and sharing in the excitement with others. Before I go, I have a challenge for you. Take a look at your coin jar or your spare change and see if you can find any of the rare pennies I've talked about today. And if you want more tips and tricks on how to spot coins that are worth a ton of money, be sure to hit that subscribe button right now. You don't want to miss out on future videos where we uncover more hidden treasures. Thanks for watching, and remember, collecting coins isn't just about the money. It's about the adventure. Catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin worth more than you expected. Let's talk about it. You might just inspire the next great coin collector. There you have it. A fun, friendly, and informative 20-minute YouTube video script that will keep your viewers hooked from start to finish. Hey, fellow coin lovers! Did you know that a regular 2019 penny could be worth a whopping $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. This tiny copper coin, the size of a thumbnail, is worth more than some of the most expensive collector's items out there. But hold on, before you start digging through your spare change, let's talk about why this penny is so special, how you can spot one, and the crazy story behind it. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be an expert in not just the 2019 penny, but how to spot valuable coins hiding in plain sight. So, here's the thing, not all pennies are created equal. You probably have a few 2019 pennies lying around, and they look normal, right? But there's one very specific thing that could set one of them apart from the rest. That little detail could turn it into a gold mine, or, in this case, a copper mine, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive into why the 2019 no-mint mark penny is one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in circulation right now. Let's start with the basics. What is a no-mint mark penny? Mint marks are those little letters you find on your coins, usually next to the year, telling you which U.S. mint produced them. Normally, a penny will have a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or nothing at all for Philadelphia. But in 2019, there was something special about the Philadelphia pennies. They were made with no mint mark at all. And now, you might be wondering, what's so special about that? It's not like no mint mark pennies are rare, right? Well, technically, no. However, the 2019 no mint mark penny is unique for a few reasons. In 2019, the US Mint decided to do something a little different. They didn't put a mint mark on any of the pennies coming out of the Philadelphia Mint. That's right, there were no P mint marks. The thing is, mint marks had been a standard for years. So when collectors saw this, they thought, what's going on here? Is this an error? And that, my friends, is exactly what makes this coin worth $1 million, potentially. But let's go into how you can spot one of these little guys. First off, it's crucial to know that not every 2019 penny without a mint mark is valuable. To make sure you've got a real treasure on your hands, you need to check the condition. This penny needs to be in mint condition, think sharp details, bright copper, and no damage. It's also essential to remember that some of these pennies have made their way into circulation already. So, you could be lucky enough to find one in your pocket change, but most of these high-value coins have been hoarded by collectors who are holding on tight, waiting for their value to climb even higher. So don't just expect to stroll into a convenience store and find $1 million penny. That would be like winning the lottery on your morning coffee run. Unlikely, but not impossible. Here's a funny story from my own experience. One day, I was sifting through my change jar, thinking I might be sitting on a fortune. I pulled out a shiny 2019 penny, no mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be the one? But after inspecting it, I realized the penny had a little scratch on the edge. It wasn't in perfect condition, and let me tell you, folks, that's a big deal when it comes to coin collecting. You can't just hope for a big payout by finding a damaged penny. But that doesn't mean you should stop looking, because sometimes luck has a way of showing up when you least expect it. So, how do you actually make money off a 2019 no mint mark penny if you find one? Well, it all comes down to rarity and condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. And don't forget, authentication matters. Getting your coin graded by a professional can significantly increase its marketability. It's like getting a stamp of approval from an expert. Once graded, you can sell it at auctions or through trusted coin dealers. And now, if you're not quite sure where to sell your coin or how to get it graded, don't worry. There are plenty of online platforms and reputable coin dealers who are happy to take a look at your find and give you an idea of what it's worth. Just make sure to do your research to avoid getting scammed. Alright, folks, we've covered a lot today: why the 2019 no mint mark penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and what to do if you find one. If you're anything like me, you're probably now walking around your house checking every penny you can find, but remember, this is a long game. Finding one of these pennies is rare, and finding one in mint condition is even rarer. But here's the thing, this is just one example of coins that can be worth a lot of money. There are tons of other pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters out there that could make you a small fortune. And the best part is, you don't need to be a full-time coin collector to stumble upon these gems. If you're enjoying this journey into the world of valuable coins and want more tips on how to spot treasures in your spare change, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next, and remember, folks, keep on collecting, keep on searching, and who knows? The next time you reach into your pocket, you might just pull out your own $1,000,000 penny. Hey there, coin collectors and curious minds. Hold on to your wallets, because today we're talking about a penny, yes, a single penny, that could be worth a cool $1,000,000. That's right, you heard me correctly. I know what you're thinking, a penny? $1,000,000? Is this guy pulling my leg? Well, let me assure you, this little copper beauty could be your ticket to the big leagues. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's dive into the mystery of the 2001 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, before you go searching through every jar of change you've got, let's break down why this coin could be worth so much. Trust me, it's not just magic, it's about rarity, history, and a little bit of luck. Alright, let's talk about the 2001 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, okay, it's just a penny, right? But here's where things get interesting. See, every US coin that's produced at one of the official mints, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, has a mint mark that tells you where it was made. Most of the time, you'll find the mint mark right there on the coin, typically under the date. But the 2001 penny, well, it's missing its mint mark. Now, I know what you're thinking, maybe it's just a misprint? And that's exactly it. The 2001 no mint mark penny was supposed to have a mint mark, but due to an error at the Philadelphia Mint, a bunch of them slipped through the cracks without one. Now, let's talk about how rare these coins really are. While the vast majority of 2001 pennies were produced with the P mint mark, there was a small batch that didn't make it. This tiny error means that there are only a few of these mintless coins out there, and they become the holy grail for coin collectors. How few, you ask? Well, estimates suggest that there might be only around 15 to 20 of these mintless wonders still floating around. Imagine this, a coin that's identical to every other 2001 penny you see in circulation, but it's missing one tiny detail, that little P on the back. And this tiny flaw could make it worth over $1,000,000. But don't go cashing in all your pennies just yet. Not every 2001 no-mint mark penny is a $1,000,000 winner. You'll need to find one in excellent condition, ideally uncirculated, meaning it hasn't been tossed around in your pocket for years. And like any rare coin, the price can fluctuate based on demand. As with any investment, it's all about rarity and condition. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, I've got a jar of pennies at home, maybe I'll strike it rich. But let me tell you, it's a little more complicated than that. If you find one of these pennies, it could take some time and a bit of luck to verify if it's a true 2001 no-mint mark penny. So, let's go over some tips on how to check if yours is the real deal. First, take a good look at the coin. No mint mark means that it was struck in Philadelphia, that's your key indicator. Next, check the condition of the coin. If it's shiny, crisp, and free from damage, then you're in business. But if it's all scratched up or dirty from years of living in your pocket, well, it might not make you a millionaire just yet. And don't forget the date. Make sure it's from 2001, not some other year. And here's the fun part, how do you find these rarities? Well, it's kind of like going treasure hunting. I remember when I found my first rare coin, it wasn't a penny, but it was a 1943 copper penny, and I thought I had hit the jackpot. I went to a coin dealer, practically running on adrenaline, only to learn it was a modern replica. Talk about a reality check. But hey, I learned a lot that day, and now I'm here to share these tips with you. If you're on the hunt for a 2001 no-mint mark penny, make sure to check coin shops, online auctions, and even estate sales. Sometimes, people don't even realize what they've got. So, what's the takeaway here? Well, while a 2001 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is rare and could be worth a pretty penny, pun intended, don't expect to find one under your couch cushions. It takes a little bit of luck and a lot of knowledge. But hey, you never know, your next trip to the coin jar could lead to a $1,000,000 discovery. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new today. I've got plenty more tips on how to spot valuable coins, and you won't want to miss out on all the treasure hunting fun. Also, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're just on the lookout for your next big score. And who knows, maybe you'll find that elusive 2001 no mint mark penny, and we'll all be celebrating your $1 million discovery. Hey, everyone! Welcome back, old coins prices. So, I gotta ask, have you ever been scrolling through your change jar, thinking you've got nothing but pennies that are, well, worth just a penny? But then, bam, you come across something that makes your heart skip a beat. You flip it over and see the D mint mark, and for a moment, you're like, could this be the one? Well, today, we're diving deep into one of those pennies, the 2020 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, you're probably thinking, 2020? Is that even worth anything? It's too new. And hey, I get it, this coin might not be as old as some of those legendary rare pennies, but trust me, this one has a hidden secret worth a cool $1.1 million. Yep, you heard that right. That shiny little penny could be worth serious money. So, let's jump in and find out why this coin could make you a fortune. Alright, before you start running off to check your pennies, let's break down why this 2020 D penny is special. First off, let's talk about its appearance. We're all familiar with the classic Lincoln penny. The design hasn't changed much since 1909 when it was first introduced, featuring our 16th president on the obverse. But what's really interesting about the 2020 D penny is the backstory behind its rise in value. Now, if you're a coin enthusiast or even just a casual collector, you know that certain mint marks can make a huge difference in the value of a coin. And the D mint mark on the 2020 penny, which stands for the Denver Mint, is where things get interesting. You see, it all starts with a production error. In 2020, the US Mint made a small but significant mistake when creating some of the Lincoln pennies. A particular batch of pennies had an extremely rare misstrike, making them incredibly hard to find in perfect condition. These coins are considered an error variety, and, as we know, errors can mean big bucks in the coin world. What sets this 2020 D apart is the combination of its rarity and the unique condition it can be found in. Most 2020 D pennies you come across are, well, just pennies. But if you find one of the error coins, you could be sitting on a gold mine. And here's the kicker, even though it's a 2020 coin, people are snapping them up at auctions and listings for around $1.1 million, with some even selling for more depending on their condition and grade. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, so how do I know if I have one of these $1 million pennies? Well, the key is to look for certain details. The first thing you'll want to check is the strike quality. If the coin has a noticeable flaw or unusual features, like a doubled die or a missing design element, it's worth holding on to. And of course, if you ever come across a penny that looks like it's in mint condition, well, that's your golden ticket. Speaking of looking for rare coins, let me share a quick personal story. A few years back, I found what I thought was a regular penny at the bottom of my couch cushions. Yeah, you know that treasure hunt we all do. I tossed it into my coin jar without thinking much of it. But then, a few weeks later, I was chatting with a buddy of mine who's a huge coin collector. He was talking about all these crazy finds and how even newer coins can be worth something if they're in good condition or have some sort of minting error. So, I pulled that penny out of my jar, took a closer look, and, no joke, it turned out to be a 1998 penny in mint condition with some subtle but noticeable flaws. That penny ended up being worth a couple $100. Ever since then, I've been a lot more careful about my change. If you're wondering if you should start checking your coins just like I did, the answer is absolutely yes. Coins like the 2020 D can turn up in places you'd never expect. You might even find one while doing something as simple as cleaning out your wallet or going through old receipts. So, here's the deal, don't just brush off those pennies as worthless. You never know when you'll stumble upon a treasure like the 2020 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, especially with a market value of $1.1 million. Imagine that you could find one in your spare change, and suddenly, your life might change. Okay, maybe not overnight, but definitely with a nice chunk of change in your pocket. Before I sign off, here's the most important thing I want you to remember. Check your coins, especially those with a mint mark, and make sure to do a little research on any you find. The world of rare coins is huge, and you'd be surprised at what you might discover. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins that could make you a fortune, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more tips, strategies, and updates on coins worth money. You don't want to miss out on the next big find, right? So go ahead, like this video, share it with a friend who's always digging through their pockets, and drop a comment below if you found any rare coins yourself. And as always, happy coin hunting. Alright, folks, that's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, you never know what treasure's waiting in your change jar. See you next time, and don't forget to subscribe for more coin tips and valuable finds. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters! Imagine this: you're casually flipping through a jar of pennies, just trying to find a few to toss into your piggy bank, and then bam, you find one that could be worth over $1 million. Yep, we're talking about the 1998 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. That shiny little copper coin could have you sitting on a small fortune now. Before you go digging through your couch cushions or raiding the change jar at the back of your car, let me walk you through why this penny is such a big deal and how you might just have one of these rare gems hiding in your collection. Stick around till the end because I've got some tips on how to spot this little powerhouse, and how to make sure you're getting the best price for it if you decide to cash in. Let's dive in. Now, we all know the Lincoln penny. It's been a staple of American currency for over a century. But in 1998, something unusual happened. The US Mint released a batch of pennies that didn't have a mint mark. Normally, pennies made in Denver have a D mint mark, and those made in Philadelphia either have no mark, for regular production, or an S, for proof coins. But 1998? No mint mark on some of those bad boys, and here's where the magic happens. This error made these coins incredibly rare, and as it turns out, some of them are worth a ton of money, around $1.2 million to be exact. I know, you're probably sitting there thinking, wait, what? A penny that's worth $1 million? Yep. This particular penny is so valuable because of a couple of reasons. First, it's super rare. There weren't that many 1998 pennies produced without a mint mark. The mint mark is an identifier that helps collectors distinguish where a coin was made: Denver, Philadelphia, or San Francisco. Without it, a 1998 penny becomes like a mysterious ghost, and as you know, the more mysterious something is, the more valuable it can become in the world of coin collecting. It's like finding the last elusive Pokemon in your game. Everyone wants it. Now, let's talk about how these pennies end up fetching such a high price. Coin collectors, especially those looking for rare varieties or minting errors, are constantly hunting for these elusive coins. When a mistake like this happens, they get scooped up quickly by collectors who know the true value. Plus, the 1998 no-mint mark pennies are often found in excellent condition, which adds even more value to the coin. The better the condition, the higher the price. If you're like me, you probably have that one jar of loose change at home that's been collecting dust for years. I'll be honest, I've found coins that I thought were super rare, only to realize they're worth, well, nothing more than the copper they're made of. But that's all part of the fun. You never know what you might find, right? I remember the first time I stumbled upon a coin that I thought was going to make me a millionaire. I was digging through my drawer, minding my own business, when I found an old nickel that I was convinced had to be worth something crazy. I Googled it. I thought it was the holy grail of nickels. Long story short, turns out it was just a regular nickel. But hey, you live and learn. So, I decided to keep searching, and that's when I found my first true rare coin, and that's exactly why you need to take a closer look at your pennies. You never know when you're going to find one of those golden, or should I say copper, opportunities like the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny.so. How do you know if you've got one of these gems? Well, it's all about looking at the coin carefully and checking for that missing mint mark. If you have a 1998 penny without any mint mark, it's time to break out the magnifying glass and take a closer look. You want to see if it's in good condition too. A coin in great shape, with sharp details and no signs of wear, is what you're looking for. You could be holding onto something that'll make your wallet a whole lot heavier, but remember, condition matters here. A 1998 no-mint mark penny that's been tossed around, dinged up, or is covered in dirt will be worth far less than one in mint or near mint condition. A well-preserved penny, one that looks fresh out of a coin roll, will have that $1 million potential. There you have it, the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a true hidden treasure that could be worth $1.2 million. If you find one, you could be sitting on a small fortune now. I know what you're thinking. Okay, I'm running to the coin jar right now. But don't rush just yet. Check the condition of your pennies and look for that missing mint mark. If you find one of these elusive gems, congratulations. But if you don't worry. Keep hunting. Coin collecting is all about patience, persistence, and a little bit of luck. And if you want more tips and insider secrets on how to spot coins that could be worth a ton of money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm constantly sharing updates on rare coins, tips for collectors, and stories like the one I just shared about my nickel mishap. You never know, the next episode could have the coin that turns your collection into a fortune. Hey, coin enthusiasts! What if I told you that somewhere, possibly hidden in the depths of your drawer, could be a coin worth over $1 million? Sounds like the beginning of a treasure hunt, right? Well, you're in for a treat today because we're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies that you've probably never heard of, the 1986 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny? $1 million penny? Yes, you heard that right. A coin worth $1.3 million, and it's sitting out there somewhere in circulation. So, grab your magnifying glass, your coin collection, and maybe even your lucky penny, if you have one, because this is going to be one fun ride. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this rare gem and whether you've struck it rich without even realizing it. Let's dive in. Alright, let's break this down. The 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is no ordinary coin. In fact, it's one of those rare coins that could make you a lot of money if you find it. First, let's talk about what a no-mint Mark penny actually is. Mint marks are small letters that indicate where the coin was made. Most of us are familiar with the D4 Denver or the S4 San Francisco, right? But the 1986 penny? It's got no mint mark at all. That's because it was supposed to have been made in Philadelphia, where they don't put mint marks on pennies, unlike other coins. But, and here's the kicker, sometimes these coins were accidentally released into circulation without a mint mark, and that's what makes them so valuable today. Now, how did we get to the $1.3 million mark? Well, when you combine rarity with demand, things get interesting. The 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is rare because there were only a few thousand of them made, and they didn't even know it at the time. So, it's kind of like finding a hidden gem, a diamond in a sea of copper. This coin is a perfect example of how a seemingly insignificant detail, like the absence of a mint mark, can make a huge difference in a coin's value. Now, let me tell you a funny story about how I got into coin hunting. A few years ago, I was sifting through a box of loose change that I found in the back of my car. Don't judge me, we all have that one drawer of random coins. I was about to toss a bunch of pennies into a jar when one coin caught my eye. It didn't look any different than the others, but I decided to look at it a little closer. Turns out, it was a 1969 penny that ended up being worth a small fortune. I could hardly believe it, and my heart skipped a beat. This experience taught me to never underestimate the value of those pennies, no matter how worn down they might look. So, if you ever find a 1986 no-mint Mark penny in your stash, don't just toss it aside. Get a magnifying glass, check the coin's edges, and make sure you don't have one of these rarities, okay? Now let's talk about the condition. If the coin is in great shape, it can fetch the jaw-dropping price of $1.3 million. But even if it's not perfect, don't worry. Coins in less than perfect condition are still worth a lot more than a regular penny. So, keep your eyes peeled, check those old jars, and maybe even ask Grandma if she has any hidden treasures tucked away. You might be thinking, okay, this sounds too good to be true. Are there any fakes? Great question. Yep, there are counterfeit versions of this rare penny floating around, so it's important to get your coin professionally graded and authenticated before you start dreaming about your new yacht. You can get your coins graded by services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. But here's the kicker, if you find a real 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, and it's in great shape, you could be looking at serious cash in your hands. We're talking a potential $1.3 million. So, keep checking those pennies and, who knows, maybe you'll be the next big coin collector to hit the jackpot. Alright, coin lovers, that's the scoop on the 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny and why it could be the coin that changes your life. I know, it sounds like a fantasy, but it's real. So, the next time you're going through your change, take a second to check out those pennies. You never know, you might just hold the key to a fortune right in your hand. And now, before you go running off to dig through your coin collection, I want to make sure you don't miss out on any future tips, tricks, and coin stories. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. You don't want to miss the next hidden gem we uncover together. And, hey, if you've got any coins lying around that you're curious about, drop them in the comments, and I'll give you my best advice on what they're worth. Who knows? You might just have a penny or two worth more than a snack at the vending machine. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep on hunting, keep on collecting, and who knows, your next treasure could be just one coin away. Alright, quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at the pennies in your pocket? I'm guessing, never, right? Because, let's be honest, it's just a penny. What could possibly be interesting about that? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about a penny, yes, just one penny, that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. You heard me right, folks, $1.4 million for a little coin that might be sitting in your piggy bank right now, so grab a magnifying glass, maybe a flashlight, and join me as we uncover the surprising value of the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny. And I'll even throw in a personal story about the time I almost threw away a small fortune, but more on that later. Let's dive in. So, what's the deal with this 2009 penny? Why is it so special? Well, first off, this isn't just any penny. It's a part of the Lincoln Bicentennial series, released to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday. You know, Honest Abe, the guy who's literally on the penny. Here's the twist: in 2009, the US Mint got fancy and released 4 different designs on the reverse side of the penny. They tell the story of Lincoln's life, from his humble beginnings in a log cabin to his career as a lawyer, and finally, his time in Washington, D.C. Cool, right, but one particular version of this coin has become the holy grail for collectors, the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny with the Denver Mint mark. This bad boy has a unique error in its production that makes it one of the rarest coins out there. And if you've got one? Congrats, you're practically a millionaire. Let's talk details. The reason this penny is worth $1.4 million is because of a very specific error, a double die. Basically, during the minting process, the die that stamps the coin shifted slightly, creating a doubling effect on some of the letters or images, and here's the kicker: this error is super hard to spot with the naked eye. You'll need a magnifying glass or a loupe. The most common places to look? The date, 2009, or the letters in United States of America. If they look a little funky, like they're blurry or shadowed, you might just have a winner. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in sight, let me hit you with some friendly advice. Not all 2009 Lincoln pennies are valuable. Most are just worth, well, a penny. But if you find one with that minting error, congratulations, you've hit the coin lottery. Alright, story time. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, you know, the black hole where old receipts, paper clips, and random coins go to die. I came across a pile of pennies and, like any responsible adult, I was about to toss them in the Coinstar machine, but something caught my eye. One of the pennies looked weird. The date was kind of fuzzy. So I googled it, spent 20 minutes squinting at it with a flashlight, and realized it might be one of those double die pennies. Long story short, it wasn't. But that experience taught me one thing: always check your coins. You never know what you might find. Now, let's say you find a 2009 penny and think it might be valuable. What's next? Step 1, get a magnifying glass. Don't have one? Borrow one from your neighbor's kid or grab a cheap one online. Look closely at the date, mint mark, and lettering. If you see anything unusual, take some clear photos. Consult an expert. You can either visit a coin dealer or join a coin collecting group online. Trust me, these folks are way more knowledgeable than your uncle who swears he has a rare nickel from 1978. And finally, step 4, if your coin is legit, get it graded. A professional coin grading service will give it an official value, and that's when the big bucks come rolling in. So, what's the moral of the story? Don't underestimate your loose change. That little penny sitting in your pocket right now could be the ticket to early retirement, a dream vacation, or, I don't know, maybe just an absurdly fancy coffee habit. Before I go, let me ask you this: have you ever found a coin or collectible worth big money? If so, I want to hear about it. Drop your stories in the comments below, maybe we can all learn a thing or two. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more tips and tricks coming your way about coins, collectibles, and how to find hidden treasures in the most unexpected places. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting! Who knows, maybe your next penny will be worth $1.4 million. See you next time.